What is your net worth?
I got asked this question all the time.
There's no adrenaline quite like it. I think no less than $50-60 million. I personally saw Will Smith staying in this hotel. Portfolio is up 375%. What's up guys? We are back here in the Middle East, back in Dubai, and we are staying at my favorite hotel in this country, Bulgari.
Back then I didn't have no guidance, didn't even know how to use these bars. Now they're calling me superstar. How do I skip through this part?
In my opinion, to my preference, Bulgari is the #1 hotel in this country. This hotel attracts the top of the top. All the celebrities come here. Cristiano Ronaldo, Neymar. I personally saw Will Smith staying in this hotel many times. The reason why celebrities love to come here is because it is extremely private and it's not overly busy. So even if the hotel is fully booked, you don't feel that like it's chaotic or busy here like you would at Atlantis the Royal or like you would at Burj Al Arab. When you go to those hotels, the entire place just feels chaotic and busy. Still, those are very beautiful properties, but Bulgari, when you come here, it's just a very calm, relaxed feeling. The rooms are incredible. You've got the water views everywhere. Now that I'm homeless, as I continue to explore my options and see whether I'm gonna stay in Dubai or move somewhere else. But for now, we're here. Yeah, I'm in this beautiful suite.
Brought a few W's to the 6. Baby mama fluke, but I love her for who she is. Baby Wayne and Ted's responsible for this shit. Half the time I question my consciousness in this shit.
So this is actually the biggest suite on the property. May not look that big. What you're paying for is you're paying for this panoramic view. Everywhere you look is the water and it's privatized. This whole island is completely privatized. So all of these suites actually come with butlers. And so you just have a WhatsApp that you text and they'll handle anything that you need for you. For me, #1 thing when I'm staying in a hotel, the service is very, very important. Now, service in this country is unmatched. At restaurants, venues, hotels, it doesn't matter where you are, you're gonna have top level service everywhere. This is a standard and this is something that people are used to, but some hotels do it better than others, and Bulgari is definitely at the very top of that list.
More money, more problems. More guns, more violence.
Alright, so it's now time for the Q&A. I did an Instagram story where I posted, ask me anything, and I said that I was going to use the best questions that we found, and cameraman will ask me those questions. So let's go, what have we got?
Alright Julian, people are saying, I see you travel a lot. What's your loyalty status for hotels and do you use points for booking things?
Okay, so because I travel so much, I naturally have the top loyalty status in every membership program. I've even gotten lifetime status for a lot of these. Okay, so that's my Marriott Bonvoy.
Is that 5 million?
Yes, so 5.3 million, and I have the top status, which is Ambassador Elite. It says that years is platinum. I'm 7 years or higher. I believe that I've been an Ambassador Elite practically every year that I've been on this app. And I think in order to be Ambassador Elite, you have to stay, 100 plus nights, and you have to spend a certain amount of money. So Hyatt, I'm a lifetime globalist. I did not even know that that was a thing. And last year I just checked my app and it switched from globalist to lifetime globalist. I had to check what that even meant. It just means that I'm the highest status on Hyatt now, forever, for life. So even if I spend no money and don't stay there for the next 3 years, then I remain the highest loyalty status, which is pretty cool. And then Hilton, I'm diamond there as well, which is the highest. And you can see I've got over 3 million points. I accumulate a lot of points because I spend a lot every month, but I just don't really spend those points. They just kind of sit there. What I notice is when you use points, you don't get a lot of preference. And so they're not going to take as good care of you from my own experience as when you pay in cash. So I would rather pay in cash, and then maybe one day in the future for a rainy day, I'll have these points spare when they're probably worth fucking nothing.
At what age did you become a millionaire?
So I became a millionaire at 16 years old. I did this through my music and concerts, so I was a promoter, but though I did lose it all just shortly after.
How did you come back from that?
So I lost everything by 18 and it was a very rough few years. I needed to basically go through that loss in order to understand how to navigate through that for the future. I wasn't responsible, I wasn't mature, I had a lot of issues, and it was only natural that I lost everything. But the one thing that I did not lose was my hunger and my ambition. So I've always been obsessed since I was very, very young. Even to this day, I still wake up obsessed, I go to sleep obsessed, and this obsession is what what eventually allowed me to, make it all back. Because I have this personality attribute of being very, very hungry and being obsessed. Doesn't matter what it was or what field I went into, I had to make it back no matter what.
So why don't you sell courses or any type of membership?
I personally don't do it because I make money through my own businesses and it just hasn't been something that I've wanted to pursue. Now, I know that a lot of people do it. I can understand that growing a personal brand and growing notoriety, you should be compensated for that because you trade a lot of your conveniences of keeping your personal life private. And so a lot of people now open themselves up to hate, subject themselves to other things that when you grow a name, it can become a little bit more complicated living this life. And so I can understand why people would want to do it and they should be compensated and rewarded for opening themselves up. But for me personally, I don't do it, haven't done it.
So one question says, are you happy?
I'm content. Happiness is not an eternal state, and so I am content with my life. I learned to be content many years ago, but chasing happiness is at least in my opinion, it's a fantasy that somebody like me cannot attain. I've experienced too much, I've seen too much, I've gone through too much, and so happiness is not possible, but being content is, and I'm happy that I'm content.
The question is asking, what is your favorite book?
My favorite book is Seneca, Letters from a Stoic. I gift this book to everybody. I recommend everybody goes and buys it. It is a very, very good read, and you don't have to read it in order. You can read it page by page. You can go to the last pages, skip to the front. It doesn't matter. You can start on anything because they're all individual letters. Those letters have brought me a lot of wisdom in my life, and yeah, I recommend it.
What is your net worth?
I got asked this question all the time. I will never answer what my net worth is because I believe that telling people how much money you have is not classy, and so I won't do it. I see a lot of people do it. I see a lot of people pretend. I don't want to be in that category. I don't want to tell people what I have, what I don't have. I don't think that's who I am, so yeah.
I don't know if what we have is love, but it's on my mind. We might slide on a nigga inside this club. Girl, close your eyes.
Alright, so stock market. In December of last year, I ended up taking some profits on a bunch of positions. So I'm not as heavy in the markets as I was a few months ago, but I am going to wait and see what happens with Trump and what he's going to do. Only then I think that we can make decisions based on the future. But, if you just think about what his whole motive has been and the things that they're talking about doing, it seems positive, but it's too early to decide on anything now. So let's wait till Trump takes office. So you can see right now, this is this year. It's been very rocky. You can see it started off red, then we're up, then we're down, then we're up. So year to date, I'm up 3.5%. We're halfway through January, so that means that I'm up 3.5% for January. Now, if I click on the 1 year, so we're going to look at the 1 year, portfolio is up 375%. Last year, the year to date was slightly lower. I think it was about 330 or 340. I don't remember because you can't actually check because the year's finished. But you can see that's what I've done in 1 year, in 12 months. So last year was a great year for me. The returns were very impressive. It wasn't my best year, but I have consistently beaten the S&P for the last few years. So yeah, my goal is the same goal every single year, is to beat the S&P 500. If you can do that, that means that you've won. And that's as simple as my goal always is. I am trying to find things that are undervalued and then hold them for the long term. And when you do hold things for the long term, then you can have years like that, because some stocks take a long time to bubble up and then for everybody else to see their potential. So I did over 300% last year. I want to know what you guys did. Comment below and tell me exactly what your portfolio did in 2024 and what your goals are for 2025. What are you trying to do this year? What do you think is possible? And now I'm going to speed it up to start running and put some miles on the bank. So let's get it.
I'm cool till a man wanna press my buttons. We're standing on biz, they're standing on nothing. Them young boys said it on smoke is cap, but they sound like they're bluffing. Bro, them creep up slick and clean up quick. I won't make a sound when I had to flip them commas and I had to flip them shapes. My lifestyle far from blessed, you could even pick this way. Picture the scenes, me and bro trapped on a block with a grub trying to hit this bait. The guys weren't given a chance, you're nuts if you think that we picked to live this way.
So everything you can see, this entire place, this is a privatized island. They built this island just for Bulgari. And these places now that they're constructing over there, they're selling for crazy amounts of money. I think no less than $50-60 million. So this island attracts very, very high property prices. But if there's anywhere in Dubai that justifies it, I think that this is one of them. The amount of DMs that I've started getting from crazy big people is wild. And they just ask me for investment advice. A lot of people, they always ask me, they say, why aren't you doing any courses or why aren't you selling anything? And the reason is because I just feel uncomfortable being responsible for other people and their money. I've always had this issue. I don't know what it is. Having integrity and doing right by people has been my number one priority since I was young. If somebody was to offer me billions of dollars, but I knew that there was even a 1% chance that that is in some way involved in something black, something dodgy, or something that may hurt somebody else, I would never ever take it. Yes, I may get extremely rich by taking it right now, but what do I pay for it in the future? And so yeah, my integrity is solid, it's bulletproof, and even though I'm very consistent and do extremely well, having that responsibility, it makes me feel nervous thinking about that because I don't even feel like I can take care of myself. And so it's a dilemma I've been having for a long while. Got our morning matcha latte. We're off the coffee again. I quit and start again, quit and start again. Right now I've quit. This is the arena, right? Coca-Cola Arena. Crazy. It always brings me back to the memories when I was a young kid, putting on festivals, events, concerts. I actually would say I have more experience with that world than I do with anything else. Like music, management, record labels, ticket sales, venues, all that stuff, I have more experience. With being a promoter and putting on events, you work for months and there'll be a reward at the end. You'll see thousands of people filled into an arena or filled into a venue, and you can see the fruits of your labor. You see all the work that you put in, all the people having like a great night, and there's just like a high that you get from what you were able to create. Like there's not many things that give you that sort of adrenaline. You know, I can imagine if you're a sporting athlete and you win a match, or you're an artist and you played a concert, and the concert's finished, you have this feeling, this adrenaline. Same thing, when you're a promoter, you put on a concert, you're standing there at the back of the venue and you just see filled with thousands of people and it was your creation. There's no adrenaline quite like it. And so yeah, looking at this arena is crazy. Brings me back to the old days, which I miss a lot.
So however, because of this and because of the recent 40 million transfer,
I'm sure that the two brokers can communicate with each other and investigate what has happened, because it's such a big amount. It's a very serious offense that's just happened. All right, so I just finished the call with Interactive Brokers. Now, if you think you're having a bad year, my year has been off to a horrendous start. Yesterday, I received a notification that somebody transferred positions from my Interactive Brokers account to another account. Now, I immediately spotted this. On my phone, I saw it within 5 minutes of it happening, but the craziest thing is that it said it was confirmed and now pending in the system. So it means that Interactive Brokers actually confirmed this transfer request, and all that had to happen was somebody had to go in and then click done. But because they weren't in the office yet, it hadn't been initiated. Had I never contacted anybody, it would have been initiated and the stock positions would have been gone. And they tried to initiate a request for $4 million worth of that stock. Now, I don't know what would have happened if the positions were to be sent to the other account, how they would then receive them out, because generally you can only do things under the person's name. So once this gets investigated, that's going to the FBI and the person is gonna get fucked. I promise you that. So, crazy. Absolutely crazy.